This is the new generation 2021 Subaru Outback, but I reckon many might struggle to pick it from the outgoing model. Although it looks quite similar. This is an all-new model with little carryover from the previous generation. And we've got a top-spec model to sample here. A 2021 Subaru Outback 2.5 Touring, which has a starting price of $47,790 before on-road costs. That's compared to $39,990 for the eponymous Outback 2.5 and $44,490 for the mid-spec Outback 2.5 Sport. Plus on-road costs, it makes 138 kilowatts at 5,800 revolutions per minute and 245 Newton-meters at 3,400 to 4,600 revolutions per minute, running through a continuously variable automatic gearbox, CVT. It's called Lineartronic and is of Subaru's own design. As you would expect, the top touring model has plenty going on in terms of specification. Unique features for the touring spec include 8-way electrically adjusted front seats, with memory for the driver, Napa leather accents on the seat trimming, heated steering wheel, electric sunroof and an auto-dipping side mirror. And to round it out, a 9-speaker Harman Kardon premium sound system, subwoofer, amplifier and CD player. On top of that, the Outback has a good list of standard equipment that is shared with lesser models in the range. A full-sized spare wheel should always be celebrated. And tire pressure monitoring is another great standard feature. Other bits of kit include a powered tailgate, keyless entry, push-button start, heated first and second row seats, and electric lumbar support for the driver. The new infotainment display wows with its 11.6-inch size, and has the important elements of Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, digital radio and native navigation. Android Auto smartphone mirroring only takes up a small portion of the screen because of the narrow portrait orientation. Apple CarPlay is better in this regard, thankfully, which is less wasteful of all those pixels. Fan speed, vent control and other climate details are done via an in-screen menu, while temperature control is handled by physical buttons. It works well enough, but could be a little irksome for those who love to constantly fine-tune the air conditioning. The traditional big speedometer and tachometer are in front of the driver, along with a multi-function display. While that big screen dominates the interior, the Outback is laden with plenty of nice materials and exposed stitching, lending a premium air overall. And it's plenty comfortable, with good ergonomics and soft touches for front driver and passenger. The new Outback also has Subaru's EyeSight technology, which covers off a lot of the active safety features like autonomous emergency braking. It also puts eyes on the driver, monitoring attention levels and potential drowsiness. In this specification, EyeSight also has a level of convenience built in. Once you've set up a profile within the car, the Outback is able to register and identify drivers, and automatically adjusts things like driving position and mirror positioning. The fact that the new Outback mimics the previous generation so closely speaks to the popularity of that previous generation, and Subaru understanding what its customers want. Subaru calls it a large SUV, but let's call a spade a spade. And let's also call this wagon a wagon, albeit with 4-driven wheels, molded flares and increased ride height. The second row is every bit as spacious and comfortable as a large SUV, with loads of legroom on offer for adults. And even with the sunroof in this touring specification, headroom is also in good supply. There are air vents, USB power outlets, heated outboard seats, and room for a bottle in the door cards. I also like the seating position in the back, which is slightly higher than the front seats and affords good visibility. However, there is no third row option for the Outback. Its maximum seating capacity taps out at 5. Moving to the boot, which measures in at 522 L, is another strong element of this big wagon's dimensions. It trades more in length and width than height, which is more practical for everyday usage. It's got plenty of amenities as well, including rear seat levers, a 12 volts outlet, tie-down points, pop-out hooks, and additional storage slots in the sides. Fold down the second row and you've got 1267L at the ready. Underneath the boot, you'll find a full-sized spare wheel ready for action without a goo kit in sight. Hallelujah! The 3.6-litre engine is no longer available, and there's no more diesel option as well. If you want an Outback, you're stuck with this 90% new 2.5-litre petrol 4-cylinder. Thankfully, it's quite a good powertrain. I was initially dubious of whether it's enough engine for Subaru's largest car. But after only a few kilometers, such doubts started slipping away. There's enough acceleration on offer for city and highway driving, which allows the Outback to pull into traffic and nip through intersections with a sense of ease. Those wanting ample power, rather than just adequate, could still be sad that the 3.6-litre engine has gone the way of the Dodo. But this new 2.5-litre engine is solid, and proved to be a refined and responsive companion. Credit should go to the CVT automatic transmission as well, which is a responsive and smooth operator. It allows the engine to quickly gain revs for fast acceleration without letting it drone on redline incessantly. It works well overall, and helped by its stepped nature of shuffling through contrived gears. Credit also goes to the permanent all-wheel drive system, which has inherent benefits over even the fastest reacting on-demand systems. There's seemingly never any risk of wheel spin under acceleration, and grip on low traction surfaces remains in solid supply. In terms of fuel economy, I averaged 8.5 L, 100 km after my week with the Outback, which included some big highway stints, but sits a bit higher than the combined claim of 7.3 L, 100 km. Service intervals come in every 12,500 km or 12 months, and are covered under a capped price servicing program that runs all the way to the 187,500 km or 180-month, 15-year mark. Let's not get too carried away for now. Your first 5 years of servicing runs to $2,449.88, which is on the higher side compared to others in the segment. Okay, I couldn't help myself. For the full 187,500 kilometers or 15 years, you're looking at $8,524.47. That equates to an average of $568.30 each year over the full schedule, with the most expensive visit being the 8th, $1,546.63. The Outback's ride is quite comfortable and well dialed overall for the purpose. A lower center of gravity overall, compared to other large SUVs, and a generous 2,745 mm wheelbase both help. The taller ride and sensible 18-inch wheels would also be beneficial. As good as the Outback is around town, it's also proficient on the highway runs, with a good high-speed ride quality and plenty of refinement on offer. Car buyers these days are spoilt for choice in a lot of ways. And those wanting a large SUV with room for 5 on board would be well served by having a closer look at the new Outback. It doesn't change the game at all. But it does let Subaru double down on what it knows, and what it knows works.